Welcome back to Cinema Showcase, a segment where movies get their spotlight. Each movie presented every time is presented from a member at Tubi from either movie we have not seen in quite some time or ever. This week we are covering John Wick. Sorry, I had a little bubble there. And given to me by my friend Ricky, or as you guys know him as Renja, a Jiffo Man Reviews. How you doing,
Yeah,
Ricky?
I'm doing all right.
Good. That's
Can't
quite a
complain.
background.
I'm so excited to finally be here, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad you joined me. We got our schedules lined up, and that is quite the background, by the way. That is an elaborate setup.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, even some Dragon Ball stuff. Actually, I
Yeah,
just started watching Dragon Ball, like maybe
there we
this
go.
week.
Yeah.
I started rewatching Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Ooh, that's childhood right there. That's my
Apparently
childhood.
so. That's what everyone has said
Yeah.
when I mentioned this, and I watched it as a kid when it was coming out. Don't remember a thing, and I thought it was a whole separate show from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my.
So I was like losing my mind. I'm like, I gotta watch five other
Yeah.
like seasons of this thing.
They just keep changing the show tout the
I
exact
didn't
same
know
thing.
that, and
Yeah.
I looked up like what is the difference? Like truly, maybe I can just read about it. And apparently, Z Kai is just like an updated HD shortened version of Z, and I didn't know that. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
pretty much.
got
And you
that dirt
know,
off the shoulder. That's felt
yeah.
great. I'll tell you that. But we're not here to talk about Dragon Ball. We're here to talk about possibly one of Keanu Reeves' best movies, John
Oh,
Wick. This
yes.
was your choice, and frankly, I don't think I've seen the first John Wick. And I don't think I did this. Spoiler warning: we're getting into everything. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch it. Watch the movie. Come back to this. It's so good. I don't think I've seen it since I don't know, man. Like 2017 is when I last saw it.
Mm,
What about you?
that's fair. When was the last time I watched it? I think it was probably like last year or something, getting ready
Oh,
for John
okay.
Wick 4.
Did you see it in the theaters? Because it came out in 2014. I was pretty young. I couldn't see
So
it on my own when it came out.
I have an interesting introduction to John Wick.
Go for it.
So my best buddy from high school,
Hmm.
um, he got me into the movies. I honestly had no idea that they were even a thing, and I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan.
Hmm.
So the fact that I had no idea he was making these insane action movies was like bonkers to me.
Yeah.
So it was around the time the third movie came out because I'm trying to remember what other movie. Like there was a big Marvel movie that
Whoa,
was
hold
coming
on.
out.
The third John Wick movies when you started
Yes,
getting into these? Wow.
yes. Yeah, I was very late to the party. So I'm trying to remember which. I think it was like
That was 2019, so that could have been Avengers Infinity War.
I think it was Infinity War because I remember
Oh, it
there
was
was like
actually Endgame. My bad. Infinity War
there
came
we
out in
go.
2018, Endgame.
That's why because my friend was like, dude, this trailer's gonna beat Endgame's trailer. I'm like, what? I'm like, I've never heard of this movie. How the hell? How is it gonna beat Endgame?
Did it?
He was like, we gotta watch these movies. So literally a day before the third one came out, we sat down, we watched the first one. We got halfway through the second one. Then I go to his house. We finish the second one, and
Nice.
then we book it to the theater and we watch the third one.
So you got a triple feature in one day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, it
That's
was insane.
that's pretty rad, actually.
Yeah,
That's kind of rad. See,
it was.
I got into it very, very late. I saw the last 10 minutes of the second one, where the hits going out.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'm missing out on some pretty good movies. Because like when you're young and you don't see these movies in the theaters, time goes by because other stuff comes
Oh
out.
yeah.
And so I forgot about it. So I'm like, oh shoot, Keanu like is a god. He's gonna
Yeah.
beat death. I'm gonna watch this movie. So I went to go and I watched it maybe twice in the same day. I think I rented it from like a semi blockbuster like place near where I live,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
watched it and it was so cool. But genuinely, I think out of the four, this is the best one. Like because we'll cover the other three at other times, but
Yeah.
this is the best one because it was something very different about this movie that is so apart from the other ones. Like mainly color. There
Oh
was
yeah.
no other shade of gray and black I have saw through a tint in my life. It was like David Fincher directing an action movie, but it was so cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool. Just a little thing about the movie. It came out, like we said, in 2014. Hi, this is Future James coming to the past. So I messed up. So the directors for this movie, I got mixed up. So the director is Chad Stelsky, who did all four, and David Leith, who did everything else I'm going to be naming here. So just keep in mind, flip whoever I'm talking about. So that's my bad. Wanted to come on here and correct that. Thank you. The director was David Leith. I think I'm saying that right, in Leith, and he did all John Wick movies. Chad Stahelski, I hope I'm saying that right too. He was the director of Deadpool 2 and the Deadpool No Good Deed short that he did. Recently, Bullet Train, which is a great movie, Atomic Blonde, and then So Hobbs and Shaw. Writers were Derek Kolstad, who did also all the John Wicks movie, the Nobody movie with Bob Odenkirk that came out, I want to say 2 years ago. Did you see that movie?
I actually haven't seen Nobody. It's been on my
Neither
list
have
for a
I.
while now.
Yeah, I need to get to that too. He did the newest thing that's going on with John Wick, the Continental, which
Ah,
I thought
I
that's been out for a while. Apparently, it hasn't.
yeah, it just came out like last week, I think.
Didn't know
I
that.
same.
Thought it
I
literally
completely
came out a
forgot
year
that it
ago.
came out.
Yeah, I thought that was done and over with. And he also did the Falcon Winter Soldier and the Package, which is of course Marvel and something else. So
Yeah.
the budget was estimated about $20 million. Opening weekend in U.S. Canada made $14,415,922. Gross worldwide, it made 86 million. That's huge.
Yeah, with a 20 million budget, that's
20
huge.
million, and also 20 million budget is not that's not that big for this kind of level of movie.
Yeah, it really is. And people don't realize how much money 20 million actually gets you in the film industry.
Yeah, like 20 million I think is like the first Percy Jackson movie, I think.
Yeah.
Not even that actually. Not even
Yeah.
that. I think that was like maybe I want to say 45 million, but either way, if that's 20
Yeah.
million is small for just mainly paying for probably the health insurance and
Yeah.
medical things.
Yeah, I'm the freaking stunter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so incredible. Like, that movie is why I always say that the Academy should put in a stunt category,
They
because
really should.
those
Because some of the
guys,
stunts they pull off in these
like,
movies recently,
yeah,
not even just John Wick,
like
some of these recent
extraction,
movies, it's insane what they're putting their bodies through.
yeah,
I mean, we're losing some people left and right. Like they're having to make like memos
yes,
in the freaking credits
yeah.
now, like we lost this person doing stunts. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you guys
And
putting these
there's tons
people
of stories
through?
like that. There's tons of
Yeah.
stories where people are getting seriously hurt on these sets, and then
Yeah.
and then they're just they pop right back to it. There's
Yeah.
even a story about what this movie I'll get to later. Found a lot of interesting things that happened in this movie. But the director of this movie did thing like Atomic Blonde, where there's a lot of great action stunts and like half the praise for it. So
Yeah.
I will always say that they need to do that, because with a movie, especially where Keanu Reeves, who apparently did, according to him, 90% of his own stunts, as well as Adrian Palicki, who was the girl you've seen from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was the one that went into his room and tried, attacking him. She also did her own stunts too, even though her time in the movie maybe wasn't as long. The stunts they both had to do, either together or separate, were insane. It had so much
Yeah.
choreography, and the camera movements are so fluid. It's stupid good.
It really is.
It's so good. So why did you pick this as your movie? Because we've had two other movies that are going to be out by the time this is out too. Why this one?
I picked this one because I feel like it was a big change in how I started to view movies. I really started taking movies seriously after I saw the first John Wick. It really gave me a new appreciation for like what these actors, these writers, directors really have to go through to like make these like multi-million-dollar movies, especially with a budget like $20 million, like we just said.
Yeah.
So, and also I just love Keanu Reeves. I think, in my opinion, if there's only one movie you should watch before you die, it should be The Matrix.
Wow, The Matrix.
Yes,
Wow.
because that movie redefined cinema with like
That is true.
what it did, and it was so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
now we're starting to talk about AI. The Matrix was on that before we even were born, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And in my one of my classes I took for college, is there was like this, it was like an information technology class. I don't remember exactly what it was. But the professor was talking like, yeah, and there's been reports that have been saying that, in some time we're gonna have our own digital relationship with people, and then they're gonna probably put that in some kind of body, and then said something I thought you got ahead of me.
Yeah, I knew where that was going.
Yeah, and I saw that in like the news or whatever. I'm thinking, this is Blade Runner, or is no one aware that this is Blade Runner? And I recently for the Denis Villeneuve movie that we did long time ago. What do you guys think? Check it out. The movie starts with literally like a global economic collapse in the 2020s. We're like, okay, all right, this is starting to feel a little personal.
Yeah.
Personal.
A little
And that's
close to
why
home
I,
there.
yeah, and that's why I need to go back to something that was just mindless fun, like John Wick,
Yeah.
which is. We can agree that the nightclub scene is the best scene in the entire movie.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with
Like,
that.
there's always a nightclub scene in all the movies, and there's many nightclub scenes in multiple movies. Like in I think two, there's like five nightclub scenes where it was just
Yeah,
endless action. And
yeah, there was the big one in Italy. There was what else did he do the night?
he did the one with I think it was Common, where they're walking
Yeah,
back and forth and they like rolled down the stairs,
yeah,
end up at the Continental.
yeah. That was in Italy. Yeah,
Yeah,
when they
I
were in
thought. Then
Italy.
the big party one, is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, where
Yeah,
he
with the
killed
catacombs or
the
something.
sister. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool though. It's just it's
Uh,
high fashion meets ballistics. Like the whole part where he's breaking the ground and getting his stuff back in that monologue
yeah,
with the dad. Which, and also after watching Game of Thrones, which I did over last year, I can't see that the son passed his character in Game of Thrones now. I don't know if you ever
oh,
saw Game of Thrones.
it's on my list. It's another thing that's on my list.
Cra-
I know. Yeah,
if you have any questions, contact Cameron. That's been my
I
guy.
have to reach out to him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like told me many times, like, call me if something wild happens, because he's always asked me like what season am I on or whatever, and
Oh yeah,
tell me
that's
that.
fair.
But that character is it's so, like, I don't know. It's the son, awful. Hate the dude.
Oh
Mainly
yeah.
because he killed the dog.
Oh
And
yeah. Of course, obviously.
it's wild though to see how far these movies have gone just because they killed his dog. And I get the reason why. You
Yeah.
mess with Keanu Reeves' dog, sure.
Yeah.
This is what you deserve. But I remember hearing all these jokes about like a dog before I saw the movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
can't be that important.
I got spoiled on the dog's death because of
Oh,
the stupidest way possible. I
how?
saw Deadpool 2 first.
Oh, okay. Because that's the opening credits, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
By the
Okay.
guy who killed John Wick's dog.
Oh, dude, those credits rule. I love
Yeah,
that.
those are oh god, some of the best credits ever.
Easily. And it's funny that the guy that directed both Deadpool and this movie called himself out for that, which I think
Yeah.
is so funny. I think that's so good. And speaking of the nightclub scene, I found something that I thought was really cool. So for the nightclub scene, Keanu Reeves learned and memorized the whole sequence the day of shooting. So the first and only day they were doing that, got it down. While battling the flu with a 104-degree fever, they could not let this man sit down. He just kept going, said director Chad. And that is insane commitment. I had a sick day when we were working at Disney and I took it off.
Oh
This
yeah.
man this man obliterated like 50 people during that whole thing. I can't hand out wings. That's insane.
Dude, it was dude, there's one point where he literally stabs a dude up the throat and he like looks him in the eyes like, I want to be the last thing you see.
Very Private Ryan, yeah. And it's so the carnage. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone
Oh
was
my
talking
god.
about, and I love the honest trailer bit that they did where it's like John Wick killing guys like it's an easy mode in Call of Duty. It's a
Yeah.
compilation of him, and it's so right, but it's like it's so good.
It
It's
really
weird saying
is.
that, but the way they do
Yeah.
it is just mind numbing, brain dead fun. It's so good,
It
and
really
the
is.
fact that it's sprawled out three other movies, and the director has plans for 5 through 9.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, did you see John Wick 4?
I saw it in theaters opening weekend with my mom, of all
Wow,
people.
your mom.
Yeah, I got her into the movies, which
Okay.
is crazy. I got all my college friends into the movies. I got pretty much everyone I could into
Way
these
to
movies. I
go,
got my
you.
dad into these movies, and he never watches
I
movies.
try getting my dad in the movie. He goes, "I'm good." After the nightclub scene,
Yeah.
he couldn't take it. My mom, she doesn't like all that stuff, so it's just me that enjoys
Yeah.
this stuff. But the fact that they have potentially 8+ movies after the first one, the show, which I've heard about, I haven't
Yeah.
watched it. Did you watch it?
I have not watched it, but I've heard, like, at work, I've heard some pretty meh things about it,
Like,
which
I
is
love,
unfortunate.
yeah, and I love the idea of spanning out, getting other ideas with
Yeah.
Ian. I think it's Ian McShane, who was
Yeah, I believe
what
so.
I wrote it somewhere. Come on, man. Let's get this going. Why can't I find my notes here? Yeah, okay. Ian McShane, of course, who is an amazing, just vocally, just beautiful. Because I
Yeah.
recently watched the Pirates of the Caribbean movie he was in,
Yeah, the
Stranger
fourth one, I
Tides.
believe. Yeah.
I don't remember the numbers. I think it was the fourth one. It was it
Yeah.
was the one where they had to go find the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, that's the fourth one.
That man's just, like that. He can read a Lego instructions manual, and I'd fall asleep. He's
He
just
really
got that.
does have such like an ASMR kind of voice.
Yes, yes, and the fact like when he's just calm and whispering, it's just
Yeah.
it's so cool. And it was also great seeing Lance Riddick, who sadly passed away this year. He's
Yes,
also
rest in
just got
peace.
yeah, he's got such a presence on him,
He
and
really
I'm
does.
very excited to see him in the new Percy Jackson show. I think he's playing Zeus.
Interesting.
I think he's playing Zeus. I could be wrong, mostly am, but I know he's playing one of the bigger gods, and I don't think Poseidon was even casted, but I know it's not potentially Lin Manuel Miranda's character. I think
Yeah.
he is Zeus because with a voice like
Yeah.
that, you
I think
need him as Zeus.
I think Lynn is supposed to be play like Hermes or something. From what I've
Maybe
heard.
yeah, I heard either Hermes or the guy that's in the underworld, which
Um, what's his name? Come on. How many times has Kratos killed that guy?
I honestly that should be the
um,
next God of War game.
yeah, seriously.
I know he did the Norse guys, but he should do just Percy Jackson as like a DLC.
Yeah, just go back to Greece.
Go back to Greece, just do it
Go back to
again.
Greece, kill everyone again.
Do it again, but just
Do
way
it
more
again.
realistic. Yeah.
Hades. God, he's a
Hades.
freaking Hercules villain. He's the
I know. I was
Hercules.
thinking
How the
like,
heck do we forget him? We
well,
went
I
to
just know that
Disney,
there's
man.
different versions of the guy, and I'm thinking like, I know it's probably the guy from Hercules, but I don't know. I could be wrong. And I haven't read the books past the first one, and that was maybe
Uh,
10 years ago. So I got no clue. I got no say in this game, but it does look very good. And actually, about Ian McShane's character was that Jason Isaacs, who played Lucius Malfoy. If you saw the Harry Potter movies,
yes, I did.
he was originally going to play Winston, but for some reason just couldn't get him down, and so they went to Ian McShane instead.
Hmm.
Either way, I think it would have been great, but I love me some
Yeah,
Ian McShane.
true. What's funny is I heard that Ian McShane thought he was playing a character he had played before, and then
Really?
like a week into filming, he was like, "Oh wait, this isn't the same character." I'm so embarrassed.
Really? I
Yeah,
gotta find out what that
yeah.
character
Look at
was.
I think there was an article about it. I think I saw it on Instagram somewhere.
Oh my! I gotta find that article because I want to
Yeah,
know what character he thinks he was playing
yeah. I'm
again.
trying to remember what character it
Was
was.
it
He was
from
like,
that
"Oh, I thought
show
I was this
American Gods?
character."
No, that show wasn't coming out by then, was it?
No,
American
I don't
Gods?
think so. I think it was like one of his older movies. I think he thought it was like reprising the role as playing like an older version.
Unless somehow, yeah, let's play like a character named Winston before. I don't know. I guess I
Yeah,
didn't see that one, but I gotta go find it. Thank you for letting me know.
yeah.
Also, this thing's just full of fun facts because I couldn't stop reading these. So the nightclub sequence, like we said, is easily the best part of the movie, and I think that's also where he got majority of his kills because in the first movie alone, he has approximately 77 kills in the first movie. Pretty,
Uh,
and that I know that sounds like a lot, and it is. That's 77, but that is the lowest in all four movies.
oh yeah, no, they just keep upping the ante with the
And it
kills.
gets even crazier with the fight stunts. Now, in
Oh yeah,
total, there are 590 in all four.
I believe that.
And in I kind of want to say all four, here we go. In the second movie, there was 94 kills. That's a lot more.
Yeah.
Third movie was 140. And now the most recent one, the fourth one, has 151 kills. Which that's a lot. I mean,
That's a lot of bodies. Yeah.
that's a lot of bodies, man.
And this is a retired John
This
Wick
is
too. You gotta remember what
retired,
the
man.
heck was he doing in his prime?
Honestly, that could have been the show.
Honestly, I would have liked to have seen John Wick in his prime,
Mm.
but like also just seeing like him as sort of like a retired person
Yeah.
was an interesting story as well.
Yeah, and apparently the movie was going to be going by like Saber or something else. It was like a whole other title, but Keanu just kept calling him John Wick or something. And they're like, "Well, if you're calling him this and the marketing's calling him that, let's just call him John Wick." So
Yeah,
they just changed it because Keanu was like, "That sounds cooler."
yeah.
And what a dude, Keanu! Like there was that
Keanu
show.
is the goat.
I
Keanu is
just
the goat.
is this your favorite Keanu Reeves movie?
Um, it's up there with The Matrix.
That's up there with The Matrix.
Yeah, it's. I wouldn't
So
say it's a
top
movie you need
five.
to watch, but like definitely like one of the best Keanu Reeves movies of all time.
I agree. Give me your top five Keanu.
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, definitely Matrix is number one.
Okay,
You got this.
Keanu Wick.
Um, honestly, I like the third one.
Whoa,
Third John
Parabellum.
Wick. I liked Parabellum a lot.
Don't remember that's
Um,
the one with Halle Berry, right?
yes, that is
Okay,
one with Halle Berry.
cool. With the dog running up
Yeah,
the
with the
wall.
freaking dog parkouring
Yeah.
dog. Yeah. I mean, that's why I love it. It's like
That was
hardcore dogs, dude.
that was pretty rad. The dog defying gravity. That was kind
Yeah,
of rad.
exactly. So you just jumped on Storm's back, then vertically climbed a wall like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was pretty rad. I thought that
Yeah.
was kind of cool. Fourth one.
Oh God, fourth one. I don't want to say another John Wick movie.
Well, he's got a lot, so you can pick him.
Yeah. Probably the second John Wick.
Okay.
And then I think this is sort of like a spoof
Mm-hmm.
movie, but the League of Super Pets. Because he's Batman in that movie.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll give you that. League of Super Pets. All right. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. So I really thought you would have said Bill and Ted.
I mean, I like Bill and Ted, sure, but I didn't really watch that till like
Dude,
recently.
that movie, it did define a genre and a personality for
It
me.
really did, yeah. I could see why. Like, if I had watched that when I was younger, like when it
Oh
first came
yeah,
out or something,
yeah, younger.
or like closer, yeah, I would have definitely like been like, this is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, I saw it when I was like 12 and haven't stopped watching it. it's it's part of my annual rewatch list. There's like 5 movies I gotta rewatch annually, and that is
Damn.
easily the one I gotta pick every time. That and Treasure Planet.
Oh,
Never
Treasure Planet's so underrated.
haven't skipped
Very
a year in
underrated.
10 years. So
Dang.
yeah, there's like different rewatches for every like season kind of thing.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
every single Halloween, it's Ghostbusters.
That's a good one.
Haven't missed it. Even if I'm asleep and caught the first half, because I was sick last year during Halloween, so I had to fall asleep during. I was pissed. But either way, we're not talking about Ghostbusters. We're talking about John Wick. Either way, with either the Matrix movies or this movie, pretty much every movie he's done, stunts have been involved, and he's done a fantastic job. He's done great, especially with the Matrix, where the big shootout scene at the end, where it's him and Trinity, and he's fighting against Agent Smith, right?
Agent Smith.
Yeah, that's the big pillar one. That scene alone, with every mistake, was like $6 million or something like that, or like 12.
Yeah.
Like it was a ridiculous amount of numbers. Probably not 6 million, but it was a stupid amount of money. And there's a deleted scene, not like a deleted, like a blooper of him slipping in the first 2 seconds of it. And they're like, all right, back to square one after everything's crumbling around him. And I can't imagine what
Oh
that
my
stress
God,
would be
yeah.
like. The stress of having be like, okay, if I mess up, we're doing this again. I couldn't. And Keanu is also a nice guy, but he does
Amazing.
his own like what's it like authenticity with it. Like him
Yeah.
practicing martial arts and weapons training for 8 hours per day for 4 months. That's a long time, dude.
That's dedication. That's a dedicated man right there.
Hours. That's so dedicated. And while doing one of the stunts with Keanu, this stunt double went bad and lost his ear. Like it fell in his shoulder, like landed on his shoulder. This is why I think we should also have a stunts category, because they had him recover fully. They let him take as long as he need, but when they did the reshoot, they had to switch the camera angle in order to hide the stitches. Like Luke Skywalker in Empire.
Oh my God.
And I felt so bad reading that, because I'm thinking like we said, those stunt guys go to
Yeah.
hell. And especially in the third one or even the second one where they're rolling down like 7
Those
flights of
stairs?
stairs. Yes.
Dude, Keanu went down the whole flight of stairs. He gets to the like almost the top and they push him down. And he's rolling. I'm like, how are you still alive?
Yeah. You ever fell down a flight of stairs? It hurts.
I have.
It
It
hurts.
hurts. Especially stone stairs. Those are stone stairs.
Yeah, and I doubt you went down 7 flights. I think maybe half a flight.
I've fallen down like one flight of wooden stairs. That hurts. But that is so much softer than stone stairs in freaking Paris, dude.
Yeah.
I've been to Paris. I've felt those stairs. That shit hurts if you fall on them.
Yeah, that I can't imagine. Like I've taken my fair share of falls. Not that level. And I think there's like we said, 90% of his stunts were done by him. I think the one in the church where he had the bag over him and he's fighting that one guy, I think that was a stunt double. There were a lot of flips. And Keanu is not an older guy, but I think there's like things the movie studios can't let him do. Like it has to be a stunt double. And I believe he's also then a producer, like Tom Cruise is for the Mission Impossible movie, so he can do his own stunts. That is dedication.
Yeah, a lot of
Both of
times
them.
those big actors end up are also producing the
Yeah.
movies.
And I'd love to see, just for me, a movie fully dedicated to a stunt off between Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise. Like Wipeout, but an action piece.
Wipeout Celebrity Edition.
Wipeout action stars. And I think
Action
getting
star.
like Sylvester Stallone,
Oh
Tom
my.
Cruise, Keanu Reeves, Jason Statham.
Yo, I just want to see freaking Sylvester like just before he gets to the balls. Big balls.
He's doing that one where they have like the boxing thing and he just keeps
Yeah.
getting nailed in the face. Like, yeah, it was like Rocky 2. Yeah. Stop this man, he'll kill you. I think though that could be an easily number one. Oh, even Dwayne Johnson could
Oh
join
my
this. I know
God.
he doesn't do
Yes.
all his stunts, but he does enough just to
Yeah.
make the criteria of this show. We need to bring back Wipeout Celebrity Edition. That'd be
Dude, we
awesome.
need to do that now.
They need to bring that
We got to
back.
start a GoFundMe for Wipeout Celebrity
$20
Edition.
million. We can make it work like John Wick. We'll have the same guys that did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, overall,
Keanu's
this
nice. We just got to find a way to reach him, and I'm sure he'll convince them to help us.
overall we know who win. This is Keanu Reeves. He'd score a perfect 10 on all of them, but I'd still
Yeah.
watch that. Like every season of The Bachelor cannot stop me from watching. God, that's $1 billion idea right there.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh, I need someone to do that.
We need someone to. If you're out there, you
You're
find
out
it.
there.
Do this, please.
That's our
We don't need
demographic.
to get credit. We just want to be there when it
Yeah,
happens.
we'll find. Yeah, they're just in the background holding a
Yeah.
sign. I feel like I'm missing a stunt actor. Oh no, would John Cena? I think I'm just thinking of Hollywood strong guys
Yeah.
now.
I mean, he does stuff.
He
I
does
think he
do
was
stuff.
actually hosting like the new Wipeout for a while too.
I think he
The
did. I think he
revitalized
did.
Wipeout. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he was
hold
hosting it.
on. I think I remember seeing that. John Cena
Is it just me?
hosting.
Is John Cena just in everything right now?
Oh, he is like the wind.
Dude, he's in
He was.
everything now. He
Him,
was. I knew it.
yeah, him and Nicole Byer, who
Oh
was,
my
I
God.
believe, from that show, nailed it on
I
Netflix.
Yeah, I believe so.
Uh, that's awesome. John Cena. What a guy. Following everybody on Twitter. Such a
Yeah.
nice dude. Uh, so John Wick, great movie. And I think that also set a precedent for his game that came out so many years ago. But if you have a VR headset like an Oculus, about years ago, but there was this game that came out called Pistol Whip. It is John Wick first person video game like, where you obviously have the headset and you play with one controller or two, it's up to you. But in the thing you have a gun and there's music playing and it's like Beat Saber, you know that game,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
with a pew, and there's obviously it's fake people,
yeah.
but you have to like dodge bullets, bang, and then you can like hit them with the gun and everything, and you're moving automatically, so you stay still in a move and it comes to you. But it's so sick because it's like the nightclub scene
Yeah.
all the time, and there's different games and everything you can do or different songs. If you have it, go get it. It's like $10. Best game you'll ever play. I guarantee.
All right.
I guarantee. And the game that they did, which was like a third person puzzle game. Did you know about that?
Oh, was it like that a John Wick game? I
It was a
think.
John Wick game, and
Yeah, I remember that was like on a Nintendo Direct at
yeah,
one point.
of all
Yeah,
places.
which was I know of all places. That's how I found out about
It
it on
was
a
so weird.
Nintendo.
It was like really.
Yeah, it's a strategy game if I remember correctly, where like
Yeah.
you actually have to run through what you would do,
Yeah.
and then you see it play out, and then that would determine like how you got points or something.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly right. Because I remember hearing about it and I'm thinking like, that's such a sick game. Because I'd also like to see, well, no, that's kind of like Super Hot. Did you ever play that?
No, I never played Super Hot.
That's kind of like John Wick in slow motion, but you kind of feel like it. But I'd love to see a like first person John Wick game.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would pre-order that like collector's edition.
All 19 inches of John Wick.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
John Wick like
Yeah, I mean, like And you
I
get
put
to
him on a
pick.
spinning table and everything.
Yes, and you can pick out what you got like stashed away, and like the Italy scene where he's in the
Yeah,
catacombs and he slides down. And, that movie's so cool, dude.
dude, I
Like,
just want.
what do you think? So
Yeah.
the second one for you is the greatest one?
For me, I honestly think the third one might be the greatest one.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. See, for me, I thought the third one was again great.
Yeah.
The first one, I don't think anything has ever come close to. I mean, maybe because I'm also a big fan of Willem Dafoe, of what
That,
that did.
that's
Like,
Willem Dafoe all the way, man.
definitely got mistreated. But
Yeah.
that movie set a precedent for how action movies should be done. Just, it's weird to say mindless fun, but it's mindless fun. You know, like you just can't get anything better than that. And I think the ending of the second one was as close as we ever got past that. I think the
Yeah.
first one, in my opinion, is absolutely fantastic. I gotta rewatch the third one because I don't remember much. All I remember is that Keanu Reeves took a mad fall at the end.
Oh yeah, that was
Mad fall.
dude, literally me and my friend, like, we screamed, not like almost little girl scream. We're like, oh my, like we did the first two, we're like,
Because then
it
when he
just gets
hit
worse.
that,
He falls, he slides down, then he hits his
yeah.
back on a freaking guardrail, then he hits his face on the freaking like awning thing, then he slams into the concrete. I'm like,
Did
how
he
do
hit a
you
trash can?
I don't
Sure,
know
he
if he
also hit a
did.
trash can on the way down too.
Probably did, dude. Honestly, you hit how many things on the
Probably hit a bird or two.
yeah.
Oh, that movie's absolutely fantastic, and I think it shows that with a little, you can do a lot. I got nothing more to say. If you got anything, it's up to you.
Oh man, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, just
It's so good. Like
it
it's just
really
an
is. It
awe.
just you know what it is that the first John Wick. What I will give it props for because I do think it is one of the best action movies.
Mm.
It shows that you can do a lot with a little.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's all about how you use what you've got
Mm.
and whether or not you surround yourself with the right people to get what you want done.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
that is a testament
Yeah.
to that. 'Cause that series will never end. It's just gonna get higher.
It
I
never will.
guarantee you, he's gonna reach 1,000 kills easily.
Yeah.
If he gets to 9, because we're already at 4, and he's almost at
Yeah.
200 kills. They're gonna bump it up every
Yeah,
time.
they gotta bump it up. This gotta keep adding.
It's like double it and give it to the next movie. It's just
Double
gonna.
here to the next guy. Yeah,
That's where it's gonna go. Well, that'll have to be the end on Cinema Showcase for John Wick. Ricky, thank you for joining. You guys actually can go see him in our episode 23 right now, which is going to be our Tim Burton episode. You guys can go check that out. And Ricky, you can also check him out at Jiffleman Reviews on Instagram. You're not on TikTok, are you?
No, I'm not.
So then just strictly Instagram. Link will be in the description. Go check him out. Ricky, thank you for coming on. We'll see you in a little bit.
All right, see you in a bit, man.